2, 1, and we should be live. Okay, we're gonna just. Oh wait, I have the. There we go. Okay, we should be live now. Here, let me check the stream to make sure it's set up. Let me just mute this tab. Okay, we're all live. Fantastic. So we can wait for some people to come in. I'm gonna open up chat. Hi everyone. Fire Gaming, Super Might Brick, and everyone else. So guys, we're going to wait for people to file in, and then we're gonna get started. We have my good friend here, Ivan, the designer of the Sesame Street set, which is absolutely awesome. And I forgot to turn on one light. Let's do that first. Okay. Now the light's on. There we go. That's much better. And you can say hi to everyone.
Hey there, hi.
Great.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you're all good. Audio should be fantastic. Yeah. So hi guys, and we're going to be talking a lot about this. This is a full designer interview type thing. I don't know if he's done any of these. I'm sure he has done plenty. And this came out last. It came out last year. It came out last October, I want to say, right?
I believe end of October, and then it kind of trickled in throughout November.
Are you?
December.
Yeah. Okay. No, there was just a little lag for a second. Ooh. Okay. There we go. We're having some small lag problems, but that should be fixed. Okay. Okay, guys. So we're going to be getting into some questions. Again, hit the like button, and we're going to get right on into it. So first off, today is the 45th anniversary of The Muppet Show, from, the original television series. And, I'd like to start off right away. What was your reaction to the Muppet CMF rumor? Like, what was it like when you first heard we're getting a Lego Muppet CMF? As, you have a pretty You have a pretty close personal connection to these. Obviously, you've designed a few sets for Lego Ideas. You've also done loads of, just stuff in general. So I'd like to hear about that.
Oh boy, where to start on that? Well, my initial reaction was, God, I wish I was involved in the Muppet CMF. If it really is happening, and seems like it's happening according to the rumors. God, I wish I was involved some way, somehow in making that set. Um, having to do the Sesame Street was much a dream come true for me, but I'm a huge Jim Henson fan. If you look all over my walls, it's just...
Look at that, he's got all the Sesame Street and Muppet stuff. That's crazy.
Sesame Street and the Muppets. And, Jim Henson's been a major influence on me and my work, and I would love to get my hands on those minifigures. Either working on it or just as a fan collecting the whole set.
Yeah, I'm just gonna adjust your audio 1 second. Everyone's saying they're having a hard time hearing you. Okay, that should work. Let me just close Discord. Sorry about that. Okay, so hey guys. That should be live. So that's awesome. Obviously, I have been a huge Jim Henson fan since I was pretty young, and that's really nice to hear. So anyway, we'll move right into the next one. Again, guys, for those filing in, remember to hit the like button. Everyone's saying the audio's quiet. Ivan, would you mind just saying something insightful, so that way we test the audio?
Is it better?
Yeah. That should be. That's a little much, actually. I think even. Okay, so that should be good. There we go. Okay, we're good. Okay, 2. When you made Sesame Street, did you ever imagine, like when you were designing stuff, did you ever imagine you just walk into a Lego store or a store and say, like, I made this, and knowing, like, that your face is in the instruction booklets? Like, what is that kind of like? Because I don't know anyone who's, had that type of experience, where they have a personal relationship to every set in a store.
That was the farthest thing from my mind when I designed the set. Was really more of I just wanted to try building something with Lego. The story behind it was really I collected the Muppet Palisades line. Do you remember that?
Yes, of course, Muppet Palisades. Well, I mean, why don't you explain that for everyone so that way they know what it is? There's a Lego audience.
It was a line of Muppet action figures that was produced, I think, year 2000, early 2000s-ish, and they were about to do. It was a very popular line at the time, won a lot of awards. It's one of the best sculpted, best produced kind of action
And they were cheap.
Uh,
They were cheap too.
they were about $12.
Yeah, and for the amount of quality, for the amount of quality you got, compared to the ones now.
Amount of accessories and actually, stuff that came with it. Even the playsets were amazing.
Oh gosh, I wish I got the back theater set. For those who don't know, there's this theme of like action figures called Muppet Palisades. They're insane. I have some of them. You've seen them in some of my videos. I have pretty much all the sets except for the backstage, which is like $600 of the Muppet Show. Oh, the Lego Brix here. What's up, dude? And Life Brix.
They go for insane amounts right now.
Yeah.
On eBay. So anyway, toward the end of the Muppet line, Palisades was getting into producing Sesame Street action figures. They actually were able to produce a
Super Grover. Yep.
Right? Yeah.
I followed these guys a lot when I was younger. Yeah.
I used to be very active in the Palisades forums, and I got the chance to talk with a lot of the people working on that line at the time. And so what happened was the company shut down right before they were about to produce the whole line of Sesame Street action figures and play sets. And they were showing everybody all these really amazing prototypes that go for a lot of money on eBay right now, but that was the only way you could really see them were on these pictures on the forums at the time. And I was crushed when Palisades shut down and they just announced that it wouldn't be happening. And I always felt like there was something there. They had a really great idea to do something for adults, a line of Sesame Street products for adults, which had never really been done before, I think. And I told myself, someday I'm going to do something with this, and I'm going to make it happen. And I found out about Lego ideas, and I just kept put two and two together, and I figured, Sesame Street Legos, that could work. That could be something.
Yeah. And what is it just kind of like? Like I don't like that must be so weird. Like you probably have gotten used to it because you've seen this set so many times, and I assume you at least have like 20 copies or something ridiculous of the set. And I'm sure like you've made your own modifications to one of them, right? Like you've probably like made a whole second section. Like I know I do that. Like if like with the Muppet CMF, I'm gonna buy like 5 boxes up. I'm trying to hit. This man has designed a beautiful looking Muppet Theater, and I'm trying to hit him up for the instructions for it so I could go out and buy my own, because you guys know I love the Muppets. If you guys saw my reaction to the new CMF series rumor, oh my gosh, I was ballistic. But yeah, so we're gonna get into the next question anyway. What was the design process for this set? Obviously, Lego's varied a little bit with you on it from what it originally looked like. So first I want to hear about what it was like designing the first one, and then if they consulted you, after it was selected and helped, they're like, is this a good thing we could do? Is this a good thing? Like did they do that sort of stuff? What was it like working with Lego on design and designing it yourself?
Once you get to 10,000, you pretty much share all your files with the Lego design team. So in my case, I gave them copies of, I did it in Lego Digital Designer. I gave them the design file for that, and I shared all my reference photos. I did extensive research on the building. I tried to get as much detail to my set, and I shared that with the team. And they started building it. They did consult with me. We had couple of calls where they would show me the work in progress, and I did have some insights. There were things that I did get to share with them, and it's a very educational process, learning what goes into a Lego set, the kinds of considerations and things that you have to factor in with every set that gets made.
I'm sure it's a lot of structural and price stuff, like.
There is some of that. Also, the types of parts that you're allowed to use and what colors and stickers and other things like that.
Got it. And I mean, yeah, it's kind of just that just must be really fun. I really just think that would be kind of cool to work with the company. Lego designed this set. Obviously, it is pretty it varies a good amount from your original design. I've seen the original design. It's a lot bigger. And it was probably, if they were to just drop it directly as that, it would have been probably like a $200-300 set. Is my guess. And they obviously had to downsize it. And you know, what do you like that they did with it? You know, overall, what are the things you really like? Obviously, the figures. I think, you know, from my personal opinion, the Big Bird figure is one of my favorites in Lego. Period. I think it was awesome.
They did an amazing job doing the sculpt on that. There are a bunch of things I really love about the set, and a lot of people always ask me, you know, how do you feel about the fact that they downsized it? And some ways, for me, they actually upsized the original idea, not the physical set, but the whole idea of it. If you remember my original design, it was just one building, and the actual produced set is actually more of a street than just one.
That's a good point.
Building that I did. So they included Hooper Store, and there is an extra room on top of Hooper Store,
it's Cookie Monster's room.
Right, which is actually based on Monster Piece Theater on Sesame Street.
Oh, that's
neat. I did have a reference to Monster Piece Theater in my original design. It was just meant to be like a small manuscript. They actually zeroed in on that idea and fleshed out a whole room for Cookie Monster based on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pull it over. The details are insane. Like, when building this was so much fun. Like, you have the Super Grover reference in the, you know, newsstand. You get the what's his name, Snuffy, and then you like go inside and you get the pictures of Rosita and the orange one that I don't remember his name at the moment. And then, you know, you go around the side and you get like the Biff and Solis. Like, this is pretty obscure references, at least with some of them. And you even, I believe, you get the Mr. Hooper picture, which I thought was adorable.
Yeah. There's some stuff in there, Logan, that I don't think people have caught yet, even up to now.
What may be one of those things?
Okay, so you know how there's like a little orange ball next to Elmo's bed?
Okay, let's check. Yes, there is.
Right, that's actually a Sesame Street character. It's an animated character from the show. There is an orange that sings Carmen on Sesame Street, and that's just another extra character that was included in the set. There's a couple more stuff like that.
Like we have
hidden references.
We have the rubber ducky. We have his little goldfish. Honestly, I was kind of disappointed when I found out Mr. Noodle was not going to be making an appearance in the set.
Oh, sorry.
I was very disappointed. Honestly, that would have been great if you had a little sticker print in Elmo's room, like on the window, where you open it up and it's just a sticker of Mr. Noodle. That would have been hysterical. I love the show.
You remember my original design? I actually made it look like Elmo's room, and would have been perfect if Mr. Noodle had a small little Easter egg somewhere there.
Yeah. No, I am honestly, like, when I found out this set was coming out, I was so excited because I was like, ooh, this is the closest I'm ever gonna get to Muppets. They're never gonna do Muppets. Here we are now. And yeah, I mean, I will say, like, it's a cool thing. Now, we're going to get into, you know, some more dicey territory with this next question, but what is your least favorite part about the way Lego handled the model? You get both sides of this, I'm curious.
Well, you know what? I've always kind of wanted to have that third window on the second floor. It just felt like, but you know, felt more complete with that third window right above the door.
You mean the one where the little Biff and Sully's one room is? Right here?
No, right above the entrance. You know how the entrance has like
1, 2, 3
sign? And there's like a wall.
No, that makes a ton of sense. Yeah, I never even thought about it, if it makes you feel any better. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing, really. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it. I actually modified mine to make it look a little bit more like how it used used to look back in the 1970s and 80s, which is the Sesame Street version that I grew up with.
Yeah, I mean, it's an awesome thing, and I will say this was a bit of a trailblazer for the Ideas wave, because the Ideas used to do a lot of custom molds and stuff, and then they just made this rule kind of out of nowhere, where they just didn't allow molds. And I believe I'm correct when I say that this was the first one that brought new molds back, which opened the door for people to do sets like Winnie the Pooh and all these, which was very exciting for everyone. It's like, whoa, they're gonna do new molds again.
Absolutely, yeah. When I found out about it, I was ecstatic. I had no idea how they were going to pull off Sesame Street
Without the molds.
After I got to 10,000 without the new molds.
And that's what I was worried about when it got to the votes. I'm like, there's no way they're going to choose this. It would require new molds. Like, you can't do Elmo with a printed out face. That would just look absurd.
Exactly.
And Big Bird would just look ridiculous. I mean, they could have done a brick built one, and it just would have looked weird. And I think that was holding a lot of people back in terms of ideas for a while, because it was like, we do all these different cool cartoons, Sonic, that sort of stuff, and now it's actually happening, which is awesome. And I will say, one I wish they did a little different with would be, and it's just my own opinion, would be Oscar. I think they should have made him like a mold, because I don't know, the roundness, he looks too cartoony for me. Like, the rest look like Muppets, and he looks like a hand-drawn cartoon type version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, hi everyone in chat. We're still going here. Now, there are two pinholes, and I've talked about you a little before we started. There are two pinholes on the side of the set. Are you and LEGO working on a part 2 for this? And would it include characters like Grover, Abby, Snuffy, and others? And even if you're not, what would you like, because I kind of know the answer to this question, what would you like to see them do, with this? And, obviously, assuming they work with you, what would you like to see? What areas would you like to see? We have this whole pin for everyone. We have these two empty pins.
First of all, I'm not working with LEGO on anything. I'm limited to the first set that they produce. If they decide to do a second set, I would be the first person in line for it.
I feel like they should send you a copy, just because, it's a continuation of yours.
My goodness, yeah.
You deserve that, yeah.
I would love that, but again, I'm not involved in any way in anything aside from the 1-2-3 Sesame Street set. Would be great to complete the corner and have the fix-it shop, but I don't know if that's going to be a popular enough set to warrant its own release.
I mean, you'd be surprised. I think.
Think so?
I'd buy it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't buy many other themes. The only other theme I've bought in the last while is Winnie the Pooh. I bought that one set because it's just amazing.
What would be cool though is if they decide to do the Muppet Theater and allow you to link that up with the Sesame Street set. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of, guys, and I'll mention this now and I'll mention it later, I do have Ivan. He is working on a new LEGO Ideas project. It is the Gremlins, right?
Yeah.
Yep, he is working on Gremlins. You'd talk a little bit about that. And I have a link for that in the pinned comment, so you could go vote for it. I did that this morning. Obviously, it's almost at 5,000 votes, I think. So guys, you all may have to make sure to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I did submit a new Gremlin set on LEGO Ideas. For some reason, no one has ever submitted a minifigure scale Gremlin set before.
And they did Gremlins in the Lego Batman movie, right? And they did them in the Lego Dimensions. I think that's what it was called.
Correct, that's right. But other than the two minifigures that came with Dimensions, we've never really gotten the full set of them before. I figured, now is the perfect time for Gremlins to make a comeback. They have an animated series coming later this year. It should be premiering on HBO Max. It even got green light for a second season, so I think it's the perfect time for a Gremlins revival.
Yeah. So next up, obviously my question is going to be related to the Muppets, because as you all following this, and Ivan, I am a mega Muppet fan. Do you have any? I know you've worked on the Muppet theaters in the past, and you did the Muppet Puppeteer set. Do you have any plans to work on anything Muppet, once LEGO reveals the Muppet CMF series? Do you have plans to possibly submit another ideas set? And really push that one, because I'd certainly try to endorse it. I'd like to hear like if you have plans for anything like that, or you're kind of done, like you've done your one set, you're happy with it, and you're happy to see how it does.
I seem to have bad luck with sets based on theater stages.
Oh, it's SNL, right? Yeah.
I submitted a Muppet Theater stage a little bit right after I did the Sesame Street set, and then that didn't get to 10,000. I think it stuck somewhere at the 3,000, 3,500 mark. And then a couple of years ago, I designed a Saturday Night Live stage, and that one was not accepted. And
did that get 10,000 votes, or?
I think about months ago, I designed a second version of the Muppet Theater.
That one looks great.
The page. I tried to submit it a few months ago, and it was not accepted. And
yeah, because the licensing issues you told me about.
Right. It was IP issues with Sesame Street.
So clearly that's been resolved for next year. So that's going to be exciting. I will say it will be kind of awesome that put Lego Elmo and Bert and Ernie and Big Bird and Cookie Monster next to Lego Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie, Gonzo, Animal. Like that'll just be the best. So now we have some fan questions from Instagram. If you're fine getting into those.
Sure.
Yeah, it's from Harry Cummings. So he wants to know your favorite Sesame Street character and why. Yeah, that must have sucked. I know everyone's been upset. Like, okay, everyone wants Grover, Abby Cadabby, and Snuffleupagus, and the orange one. I can't remember the orange one's name. And the Count. And there are just so many. That's why I wanted. Those would all be just fantastic to put in a second set. I'd love to see that.
I would really love to have like a Super Grover that could transform into like regular Grover.
Yeah, that wouldn't be that hard. Just
with
red
with like little phone booth or something.
You give him MIDI legs like Cookie Monster. You'd basically just give him Cookie Monster's entire lower half,
right.
And just the headpiece. Like that would be fantastic. I'd love that. He's kind of like the Sesame Street equivalent of Gonzo or something. That's what I always looked at them at.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
So next up from Angela Tro, who gave you the idea for the set? And before you do, guys, anyone in chat who wants to ask a question, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I am going to try my best to see if he has an answer for you. Remember, he's an ideas designer, so he is not going to know whether there is a Phase 2 Commander, Cody, or not, right?
Right.
Yes, he doesn't know. So, and unless he does, maybe he does, I don't know. But probably not. But yeah, so next up, what gave you the idea for the set? I think we hit on that a little bit, so if you want to just move to the next one. So would you just want? Okay, we'll move on to the next one, I guess. So finally, where can we support you, and what projects currently are in voting? What's being worked on?
Well, let's see. I just worked on a gift with purchase set with Lego recently. They had a space contest a few months ago.
A space what?
And like a space out of this world space. Gift with purchase.
Oh, the little little one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You built that? I had no idea.
I did the USS cardboard, and that's coming up.
Oh.
Soon. I don't know when.
That's gonna be awesome. I saw. Is that the one of you in the picture with the cardboard box?
That's
yeah.
The one, yeah.
He sent me.
On,
he sent me, for those who don't know, a picture of this. Yes, I'm so sorry. So yeah, go ahead.
I know there's a bit of a lag.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. So who gave you the idea for this set? But I'm crashed. That's what someone said. And yeah. Finally, I'd like to know. You mentioned like one of those details, like the orange ball is supposed to be like a talking orange from the show. Is there anything else that you'd like to hit on? Just talk about that you haven't really been able to get out into the public too much yet. That you just kind of really like about it. Like a nice detail, a nice build technique. Just something nice about the set you really enjoy.
see. Well, this is something the designer of the set included. It's not so much something I did, but if you notice in Cookie Monster's room on the second floor,
Uh-huh.
there's like a small golden frog and a little trophy
Yeah, I see it. Right
next
here,
to
good.
it. Yeah. So that's a little bit of an Easter egg that references Kermit and Jim Henson. A lot of people know about that.
Oh, I had no idea about that. That's awesome. Oh, I love that. That is great.
Oh, it's two things actually. One is it's a little nod at all the awards that Sesame Street has won over the years. It's won a record number of Emmy awards and
Oh, that's
other
awesome.
forms of accolades. Um, and at the same time, it's just a little nod at Manson and this other Sesame Street character who can no longer appear on the show, Kermit.
Yeah, that's sad. I will say I was never a huge fan of them selling. For those who don't know, Sesame Street sold. I think they didn't sell to HBO because they still technically air them on PBS. But I thought that was interesting. You know, I don't know. I found it kind of weird. I honestly think it would be better if Sesame Street did all their stuff on YouTube. That's more accessible than public TV. But that's just my point.
Yeah.
And like, because I know you live in the Philippines, which is pretty far away and it's pretty late for you, so I don't want to hold you too much longer. But I want to ask, you know, like, what is Sesame Street like over there? Is it the same here? Like, do they have different characters, different sorts of stuff like that, or is it just the same show they air here?
Well, you know what? We're pretty lucky in the sense that we got a few different versions of Sesame Street over here through the years. So we had the old school regular Sesame Street that everyone watches around the world, and then we had our own version. It was called Sesame, and later on we had a few other different versions of it. Play with Me Sesame, and I forgot a few what the other ones were. But we even had a Kermit channel at some point.
That's awesome. That's like the coolest thing.
All day, every day.
That's awesome.
For a few years. Yeah.
That's really cool. Now, guys, if you want to ask any questions, feel free to leave any in the chat box. Like, it's funny because, and then I'll get into this now. I'm Jewish, so I grew up with Shalom Sesame. This was Jewish Sesame Street, and they had I forgot what the Muppets name, the puppet's name was. It was this big one. What?
Samson?
I have no idea. She's like a porcupine or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know who I'm talking about? Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of awesome. Like, they have them all around the world. And I will say, like, you know, now that you have the Sesame Street set, like, and assuming Lego doesn't do an extension, have you ever considered just for fun, like, putting out a full extension, like, just at least to this one building over here? The Cookie Monster building? Like, have you considered doing that? Or have you done it? Like, have you already done that? I'm sure you have.
No, I haven't, but I've actually been talking to a few designers who have been building it. I know this really talented guy in China actually built the whole courtyard and completed Cooper store as a larger scale build. And I've been giving tips on how to complete that set. As soon as he finishes the whole project, I will be sharing some pictures on Instagram.
Oh, that would be awesome. I left his Instagram handle, guys, by the way, in the description, as well as, again, his ideas entire page. I mean, I think it would be cool because it's kind of like a rounded street. So if you could almost make a cul-de-sac of a set where you just have it kind of go like you finish this one building and then you have another big building on the side, that would just be kind of awesome and a great little thing. You just slide into a set like a modular type build. I would love that. That would be really great.
Snuffy would also be a cool
Absolutely.
Small build, if ever.
Snuffy. I mean, like, if you had to get... Here, I'll ask another one. This one's just off the top of my head. If you could get, like, 5 more characters that like they could name, what would they be if they put it... Or how about 6? Because, you know, let's just say they did, like, 2 minifigure packs or whatever. Who would they be?
Oh, definitely Grover the Count. I'm an old school Sesame Street fan, so I would throw in a few classic favorite ones like Sherlock Hemlock, Prairie Dawn,
I know who that. Yeah, I
and
know those guys.
let me see, Harry Monster is like a
Of course.
classic. There's another character who doesn't make a lot of appearances anymore. But when growing up with the show in the '80s, he was always there. He's called Frazzle. I don't know if you know what Frazzle is.
I think I know who you're talking about. I
Like
don't
a
think
little
anyone watching this
monster.
does, but
He's like a really freaky looking demon like monster.
like one of like the Frackles from the Muppets. I know there were the Frackles. Like there were the weird. They were the weird alien
Oh,
dudes.
Frazzle had like a pair of horns and then like teeth and a huge tongue sticking out.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like if I had to choose, I'd say because I grew up with the Abby Cadabby character, so I'd include that one. Obviously,
Right.
Grover's a must. The orange one, I'm blanking on her name. She's a must.
Zoe.
Zoe, that's it. Zoe.
Okay.
I'd like to probably see the count. Oh, no, obviously see the count. I was terrified of the count when I was a small child. I mean, I don't know anyone who wasn't. Like everyone was terrified of the count. Um, and yeah. So thank you so much for coming on. This has been awesome. You have now made this one of my favorite sets because of that little Jim Henson thing. That's really cool. That is one of the cooler things I think. And I will say, even though a lot of characters weren't included, I do like how they were referenced in the set. You got a reference to like at least every character you could think of. You have the two friends in Elmo's room. You got Hooper. You got the news reporter. You got the Count. All of those guys. Grover is in the magazine. Just fantastic set, honestly, in terms of details. Right up there with like Simpsons ones. All of those. Like, don't have enough nice things to say about it. Other than that missing window now, which is just gonna give me problems. Because I'm gonna look at it and be like, yeah, it's missing a window.
You can always add it. I just moved the one window on the side and put it up front.
And that's the window on the side. Yep, there it is. The windowsill one. I mean, how do you do that? Because I'm looking at the set right now, and for those who don't understand, it's like you have the little build above the door, like this little. I mean, you can't see me because the camera's not on. You might be able to. I don't know. But there's this little like build up there. Like how would you fix that?
You can actually use a whatchamacallit, different part to kind of shrink it down a little bit. I do have some pictures of it on my Instagram if anyone wants to see how I adjusted the front of the facade of the building.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna throw out one last question, then we'll end it off. How many of these do you own? Like, how many like Sesame Street sets do you own? How many Big Birds do you own? Like, I'm just curious.
I think I have somewhere in the vicinity of like 12 up to 15 sets.
That's pretty good.
But they're mostly in storage. I just have the one I display outside.
Yeah, like that must be that kind of would be a fun thing. It's like show your grandchildren, look, I made this beautiful Lego Sesame Street set, and now I am handing one to you for your birthday. Like that would be fun.
That's about right.
Yeah. So guys, thank you for tuning in. We've gotten a lot of viewers over here, so appreciate all the stuff we got. The Lego Brit, Life Brick Studios, all those amazing people. Thank you so much. Ivan, I really appreciate this. This is one of the cooler things, and I hope to maybe have you back on. Maybe when the Muppets are released,
Sure.
we'll do a collaboration thing of sorts with the Muppets and Sesame Street. Maybe you'll hook me up with the parts list for the Muppet Theater so I could do that and put it together and then have the Muppets in the Muppet Theater. Just...
Hey, I'm
yeah,
looking forward to that.
That would be awesome.
Unbox the CMF line.
I'm going to buy 5 boxes and I'm going to do like a video like opening 50 bags of Muppet CMF. Oh, we have a 9th Miss Piggy. Great. Okay. So with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, peace out, stay awesome. Is there anything? And also, actually, I'll let you plug your mock, I guess.
But yeah, if you're on Lego Ideas, please do check out some of my projects. I have one right now. It's Gremlins, based on the movie of the same name. Huge fan of Gremlins. Actually, anything with puppets in them, I guess. Check out the project. It's a Christmas set want to check out more of my stuff, feel free to follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at Bulldozer Brix.
Yeah, great. Also, by the way, that would be a great idea because this year we're getting the McAllister house. So next year we could get Gremlins. But yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Remember